Kitty.
Go ahead.
Hello, Goli.
Gollum, you
They
want to
want-
do the intro?
They want food and like,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's do this. Okay.
okay. What do I do it now?
Go for it.
Oh, okay. You are watching the ShrimpBackPodcast, and the ShrimpBackPodcast, the ShrimpBackPodcast, and we are your hosts. I am O Abnormal, and you can find me at O Abnormal. Yeah. Go ahead.
Everywhere? Like what? Instagram?
No, like
Twitter?
at O Abnormal. Well, in places,
All the places?
some of the places.
And
I mean,
okay,
that's not my OnlyFans. That's not my OnlyFans.
see, you gotta
account,
make that
but
distinction. No, I'm
Yeah.
just
Do you have
Oh,
a
yeah.
MySpace website?
I didn't. No, I didn't. But who are you guys?
I am Sabrina, and you can find me anywhere that there are social media platforms at Sabrina Brady Art.
And I'm Mao. You can call me Mao, like the Chinese food. Or you can find me as Mao Draws pretty much everywhere that has socials. So that's us.
And today's topic is our thoughts on AI. Welcome. This show has been 100% human produced.
Awesome.
Hello, everybody.
We're recording.
Yeah.
Cool.
I see you got a curtain, Sabrina.
Yeah, I've had the curtain. I'm trying to see if it helps. Does this? I mean, I'm still pretty pasty, but that's just me. So, do you think this is better lighting? It's not going to change halfway through, but I am getting the banding because it's too dark in here. So I don't know.
I am gonna miss the creepy guy that always peeks through your window, but
Mhm.
I guess I could just make another podcast with just him.
Probably. Could go ask.
Yeah, so
Yeah. But you do
I-
look good in the, I don't know, dark lighting.
Okay.
yeah. So
Maybe I'll keep it.
Are we going to have Mr. Spiegel in the
Spike
background?
Spiegel.
Yeah. Okay.
Eating noodles in the background.
Okay.
Is that
That's
the
what I'm putting there
cowboy
today.
beep bop? Is that
Yes.
show?
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
Could you sound any more like
I was
grandma?
like, I am not sure,
that-
and I don't want you guys to yell at me.
Is that
I
the
don't
beep bopping cowboy?
You
that
think I know
heard
because I
about?
think I drew him once for a challenge. The Friday
Yeah.
challenge.
Is that the bippity bop cowboy thing that I've heard about?
Yep, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, he walks around with the girl and the boobies. And,
Oh, is that
What?
is that what that show is?
well, there is a
boobies?
girl in the show and she has boobies,
True.
As
as
girls,
girls
tend,
tend
to do.
to have. Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah.
All right.
So, I'm using my the reason I
Again?
like this. The reason I like this sippy cup is because it's so manly. I like this sippy cup because, and you're gonna have to bleep this, Mal, but this is a I'm just drinking. Sip. Like it's like no decoration, no nothing, just it's a cup. I drink from it.
Okay.
Like, I like
now your skills with the
Yeah.
bendy straw.
yeah. And yeah.
I have my Minions.
Oh my
sippy
god!
cup.
What is it with you and Minions?
I don't know. I just saw it and thought, this is great. I need this in my life. And yeah, I drank from it.
No, really. Are you like into Minions? Like
I like
sexually?
the idea of Minions. I like what they represent in our lives.
But like, do
really
you
need
watch
to
the
watch
movies like with your hand down your pants?
No, they're not that attractive to me. The movie is great though, the first one.
That attractive. So they are
We-
attractive. They're just not that
yeah,
attractive.
yeah. We don't kink shame here, Mo. I mean, I am judging you, but I judge you in a very hypocritical way.
Great. Yep.
I have this
think-
belief that hypocrisy is not bad if you're honest about it.
Okay,
I've
sure.
got a Buddha today. That's my mug. Because he's got these cute little streaks
I love it.
and earlobes.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
about
it looks great. It looks great.
Got weird one.
Yeah, the truth is that when we started the podcast and we said that we would be each having like a different mug every single time,
I'm the
I
only one
didn't
who
take
can
into account the fact that I got like 2 mugs.
Yeah.
Like and it's like this one, and I do have a third mug that's really beautiful. But it's one of those mugs that you can see that whoever made it wasn't thinking about people drinking in it, because it's like one of those impossible to clean mugs.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
So
Honestly, this one is kind of like that because it's the shape of his face on the inside. So
yeah,
it does
it's-
kind of suck to clean.
yeah, and maybe you like you have small hands, don't you? But
Nope, not small enough to fit in that cup. I had to try. I was like, wait, I do want to know.
it's just. But yeah, like my hands, they don't fit like in stuff.
Mhm.
I can't get that.
You need one of those like
But-
toilet brushes, but for your
Yeah.
dishes.
I bet they
I do
exist.
have a toilet brush.
Well, don't use your toilet brush. You know, you just buy a new one.
Yeah.
I actually think they make
So many
4 dishes
rules.
once, but-
Like, so many rules. But it would be fun to like go into my kitchen and I'm in there with a toilet brush, like just
No, that's
washing
what
my
they-
mugs.
There are genuine brushes you can buy for dishes that they just look like toilet brushes to me, but they're smaller. It's like this handheld little toilet brush.
So welcome everybody
So
to
art.
the podcast.
Art.
Yeah.
So art.
What are we talking
Yeah.
about today?
So today's topic is. Well, we were thinking, what can we talk about that nobody has spoken about before?
Oh yeah, exactly. Haven't
super
heard this
mean.
one before.
So today we will be talking about our thoughts on AI.
Specifically, AI art.
Oh yes,
Yep.
yes.
AI itself,
generated
Freaking
images.
cool, right? Like we're
Yeah.
not denying that one.
Yep.
Bring on the
AI
robot.
generated images is what we're talking about today. And it is important to point out that today is September 4th, 2023. It is important for several reasons. One, because AI changes so much that it is important that we know when this was done. Because whatever changes next month, we have to be ready for it. And if Rocco's Basilisk comes, snooping around, we should be ready for it. The other reason it's so important.
Right there, ask.
Well, the other reason it's so important is because today is exactly 1 month from my birthday. So, it's important to know that.
Mhm.
So,
Okay.
yes.
How many years?
Rocco's Basset. How many years?
Yeah, for
Every
our
year.
audience. Every year.
Oh, I will be 44
Okay.
next October 4th.
Ooh. 444. That's like snake eyes or something.
Did you-
Poker.
Did you just say 444?
Yeah.
I'm 44, not 444.
Yeah. Math.
Numbers.
I'm a
I was like-
designer. Yeah.
I get that you're an artist, but come on, dude. Come
Yep.
on.
So, Rocco's
So
Basilisk.
Rocco's Basilisk is a thought exercise. It's been talked about a lot on the internet, so let's not go too deeply into it. But and I probably will say this wrong in many ways. But the idea is that let's say that there's going to be a super intelligent artificial intelligence in the future. And right now, you have to declare your support for it. Right? That you are in favor of it.
Right,
So
to
here's
the
the thing.
AI.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. To the basilisk. You have to declare your loyalty and support for the basilisk. And you have to help. And so here's the thing. You have to help bring it into reality. That's what you have to do. Now, when the basilisk is finally real, it will take revenge on whoever did not support and
I'm
help
sorry,
make it a
But
reality.
this is very much sounding like 9 out of 10 religions right now. Like,
Yeah.
you don't
Okay,
declare
okay.
you love
Sure.
Jesus? I'm sorry. When he rises, you're going to hell, right? Like, isn't that kind of like the thing? I'm not religious, if you can tell, so I'm sorry if I'm butchering this for those people out there. But that sounds very religious-y to me.
So basically, the idea is that if you support it, when it happens, it will be benevolent towards you. And if you don't support it, when it happens, it will be malevolent toward you. So if you don't support it so that it doesn't happen, but other people do support it so that it does happen, when it happens, you're fucked. And if you do support it right now, when it happens, then you're okay. It's kind of like this thought experiment that they do, and it's sort of science fiction-y, of course. And I might have gotten many aspects of it wrong because it's an actual thought experiment. It's from the year. Okay, it's not that old. But anyway, the idea is if you look at AI the way it is right now, it's like, okay, either you support it, and if AI becomes amazing and you're a part of it, or you don't support it, and then it's, okay, what happens? Like, does AI become amazing and you're not a part of it, so you're screwed? Or you don't support it? It just becomes this whole mess.
The big distinction, if we're talking like completely personal opinion here, AI on the whole, freaking amazing. Let's do it. Let's bring it on. I want robots. I want them to be my friend. I'm ready for them to have their own personalities and like their own consciousness. I want it. What I don't want is AI art.
Well, there is an aspect of AI that I think a lot of us artists, we kind of fail to take into account. And we're talking specifically about AI generated images.
Yes.
We're talking specifically about how it affects us as artists. But one thing that a lot of artists seem to fail to account for is that the image generation part of AI is just a very small part of what they're doing with AI in general. It's kind of like they're trying to build towards this whole thing, and a byproduct of it is, oh, look, and it can make cool images. Have fun with that while we continue working on making like the super good AI.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So I am very interested in the super good AI and the thing that will be like, oh great, this is the thing that will predict what I'm gonna die of. It might even help prevent it. This is the thing that will make us immortal, and it's the thing that will make us immortal and make us all not need to work, and we'll all live happy lives, and everybody except Mao will be a nudist, and we'll just like
because I might never do.
But yes, as is well documented.
Yeah.
But the thing is, those of us like you said, those of us that dream of amazing AI, we're not getting that.
Someday, maybe.
You know,
I'm holding out.
Oh, you know,
so cool.
Let's make the AI to do all the jobs we didn't want to do. So art. No. We wanted to do that.
Yeah.
So art and music. No, we like those. We like doing those.
Yeah.
So art, music, and writing. Okay. Some people don't really like writing that much, but you know.
Okay, yeah. I don't think genuinely though, if I'm being honest, writing topic wise, I don't think I could read a book written by AI. As good as it may be. If it could be a fantastic book and be the next, I don't know, The Martian when that was like huge. I don't think I personally would ever want to. I don't know.
Well, that is an interesting question. I have a situation to bring forth to you, so you can say what you think. So first, I have an example, and I'm gonna call this channel by name because why not? Maul can bleep this whole thing if he wants.
Okay.
So I like listening to lo-fi music, right? Like while I'm working and stuff like that. I'm listening to it right now. That's what's happening here with good old Mr. Spiegel.
Yeah.
So I found this channel, and it was called like Tokyo Lo-Fi Retro, something like that. And it had amazing art, like the you know, the backgrounds and stuff like that. Amazing. The music was like really good, and I'm into it. And it's like these 3-hour mixes, and guys posting like every day. Like, oh wow, I found it.
Yeah.
So I'm listening to this as I work. It's getting really good. And suddenly, because I know this happens to us artists, I'm thinking, damn it, this art is good. No. This art is too good. Who is this so I can hate him? So I start looking at the art, and they never post any credits. They never say who the art is made by. I start seeing that some of the hands look like they were copy pasted on. Then I find out that the art is AI generated, and the music is AI generated.
Wow.
So it's this YouTube channel that has 3-hour mixes posted like daily or something, generated by AI, with like screen images generated by AI. Immediately, I just couldn't listen to it anymore.
I know, right?
Like,
I don't know why
before-
that is, though. Like, I
before
wish
that
in my
moment,
brain I could figure out.
before
what-
that moment, I was enjoying it. I was loving it. I was loving the images, and I was loving the music. And as soon as I found out that it was AI generated, I've never listened to it again. And I go and I start listening to it, and my brain is just going like, it's AI. It's AI.
Yeah.
And the weirdest thing is, I don't just feel weird about it. I feel weird about feeling weird. like it's like I feel this way about it, as in like I don't like it anymore because it's AI, and I don't know how I feel
about that.
Yeah.
about that, like about the fact that I feel that way. That because it's if at the beginning I had just listened to it and gone like, oh, that's crap. Oh, it's AI generated. That explains it. But no, up until I knew it was AI, I liked it.
Well, yeah, one, I mean, we can relate that to the art too, because we've talked about this in the past, where as a idea, AI art is so cool. It's so cool. The fact that you can pull mass quantities of art together and it outputs something with some typey-typeys. Like, you just type it and you get something. That, as an idea, is amazing. The fact that we can do that.
I just love imagining you, like, with your entire hands banging on the keyboard, going typey-typey.
Art. No,
that's so awesome.
Yeah.
But that's where I am. That's where I am torn, because it's cool. It is really cool that we can do that.
Yeah,
it's just then where it actually affects us is where I get hurt. That's where I'm like, okay, no, we can't have that. Even if it came from an ethically sourced place, I feel the same way about it as I do people who trace, people who plagiarize, people who, even concepts and ideas, even if they repaint them, but it's someone else's concept and idea. Kind of throwing it to the side, fan art here for a second. Not talking fan art, I'm just saying people who take an idea and try to present it as their own.
Yeah.
Makes me feel sour. That's how I feel about AI. AI art.
Many of you used it?
No.
Used AI, no. I have to say that for example, I've used tools of AI, not for drawing, but for example, for the editing of my videos, I use the Adobe AI Enhance or whatever it's called. So the audio sounds nice. But I wanted to, talk a little about that.
About good uses of AI.
Yeah, like if it's like a tool that helps you improve something, but if it's like, I'm gonna, I don't know, create.
How far? Where's the line of how far it can help improve something before it's not
when
yours?
Midjourney first started pumping out like decent looking stuff, Like, oh, I went into the Midjourney Discord, and I don't even remember what I asked it to make.
Yeah.
Wait, so I asked it to make something.
How does it work? I've never seen like that.
I don't know if it still works that way, because this was like at least over a year ago.
Okay.
But it's a Discord. You go into the Discord, and there's a channel in the Discord where you write the prompt, and that's where the images show up.
It's just a bot. Midjourney started as a bot in Discord.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you just write, like, you just type into the channel what you want, and the next post is what you requested. Other people can see it, by the way. That's how actually a lot of AI cheaters have fallen, because they generate the image, then they deny it, and somebody goes like, "Nah, I saw that on the Discord." So
okay, interesting.
But here's the thing: I don't even remember what I made. I made it, and I was like, "Oh, that's fun and interesting. Move on with my life." Right? Like, just okay, here we go. For all I know, I might even still be on that Discord. I don't know. No, I think I left it, but whatever. Point is, at that point, it was like fun, interesting, kind of like, oh, look, this is like a fun, quirky little thing we can do. Isn't that awesome? It's kind of like when you would get those text to speech things, and you'd see what you could get them to say.
Oh yeah.
And you'd write like, okay, boobs, like, and then you just like write gibberish and have a laugh at how they wrote gibberish.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, you did that perfectly.
Yeah. That's what we would do. Yeah. I remember those days when like that was new and exciting.
Yeah. So, but at no point it would be like, okay, now, guess what? I'm in broadcasting now. Like, I'm in like we never, like I never used that and said like, oh wow, now I'm in broadcasting. Now I can like do broadcasting with this. Yeah. No, and it's the same thing. It's like, this was an interesting little toy, like an interesting little novelty. I just consider it to be like, oh look, it's like a byproduct of whatever they're doing with AI. Cool. Oh no, I didn't think you guys were gonna do that with it. Like, no. Why did you do the thing that we all kind of should have known you were gonna do? No.
Yeah. But I do have kind of my own theory about how it started, and I don't know. I haven't really listened.
Oh wow, this sounds interesting.
Whole conversation.
Oh, please let it be something like super outlandish.
I don't know.
Hope there's aliens involved here and reptile people.
No, it's not a conspiracy theory. I do love.
Is it the Hollow Earth, Mal?
I mean, we all know it exists, but no. I'll talk about Hollow Earth and the lizard people and all the other things that I love another time.
In episode 5.
Yeah, sure. No, it's not a conspiracy theory. It's just my theory of how it kind of works. Because the way I kind of have seen like different people that are not artists use it, it seems like, yeah, I do get where they come from. So when I worked in video games, I had a lot of contact with programmers, and the programmers taught me like their way of doing things, so we could like work at the company. And I was like, oh wow, they do think like they have a different mentality to those kind of things. So for example, they create a code, and sometimes they will share it. Like for example, there's programs like I think Blender or one of those that have open source code that everyone can use, and they can like, yeah, for free for everyone. Let's share this knowledge so we can improve like all of us. And the way that most programmers work, not all of them, I don't know. I'm sorry if I'm like butchering this whole idea, but the way they work, it's like, yeah, I made this code, and hey, I need to create something else. And then they look online, and someone else will give their code and just build on top of it. From what I've seen with the whole AI thing, it's kind of similar in those kind of mentality that it's like, hey, here's a useful thing, and everyone can use it for free, and let's build on top of it, and let's how do we make this better? How can we improve the AI, let's say, like the art? How do we get the hands better? And they keep just building on top of it, but they don't know where the bad part comes for the artist, because we have a different opinion and different way to see the entire AI art thing. So that's what I want to discuss with you guys. I don't know if that whole idea makes kind of sense to you.
No, it does. It's making something easier.
Yeah.
And that, in an essence, why wouldn't everybody want that? In any aspect of life, if we can make it easier, isn't that a good thing?
Yeah.
Technically, right?
Yeah.
But when we're talking about doing something we love to do, we're not sitting there saying like, oh, I work a desk job just punching in numbers on a spreadsheet. That doesn't, like, maybe someone out there loves that job and AI took it and they got upset too. But I'm saying for the most part, I don't think that sounds like a fun job. So yeah. AI can take that, right? Art is, and always has been, our way of expressing ourselves as human beings, right? Like, it's fun. It's what we want to do. So don't take it from us. Right?
Well,
like,
I think it's a little bit of dangerous territory, because it's like you said, like, it's not just about, do you enjoy punching in numbers and doing accounting and stuff like that. And I do think that for us as artists, it might be difficult to understand that somebody might enjoy that, right? Like, like I have to do my taxes this month, and it's like, I don't see how anybody could enjoy doing this. But who knows? Maybe somebody does. But I think beyond that, it's like, okay, we artists, we get to do work that we enjoy. And for a lot of people, work is just work, right? Yeah. And so the whole idea that AI makes things easier is like, yes, AI makes things easier. And it takes away the things that we don't want to do, and say, oh, well, maybe somebody does want to do that. And even if they didn't want to do that, well, then at least they were like, that was their job. At which case we say, okay, there's a dilemma there. And by the way, I'll preface this by saying, I don't actually have the solution for this, right? Okay. So before anybody starts going,
no one does.
What? This? Like, dude, I don't know. So it's like, okay, AIs are going to take away jobs, but we need to develop AI because we need to move forward. So AI takes away jobs. We want AI to move forward, but we don't want it to take away jobs. So it's like, okay, how do we solve that? Because you can't really develop this thing without having it sort of mess things up a little bit. Like, that has to happen for development. It has to happen that things need to get messed up a little bit. So at a certain point, it's like, okay, so what do we do? Do we hold it back? And then what? When can we move? Yeah. Like, and when do we get to move forward? Do we just like point at a bunch of jobs and say, okay, as soon as all those people are dead, we don't replace them and we move forward? Like, what do we do?
Well, it's a tool, and it's like the same as all other things when digital art came around, right? I'm sure all the painters had the same kind of dilemmas of, oh, digital art's not real painting, and it became a fiasco.
I don't like that argument. I don't like the it's a tool argument, because
I don't necessarily. I'm not agreeing with it. I'm just saying these are like the places that what people do say is the direction AI is going to go. Right?
There are two arguments that I've heard very, very often, and I would love it if we can discuss them both. Yeah. One is it's a tool, which we will discuss now. Yeah. And the other one coming up after is it's a democratization of art, which really, really, really my balls. But we'll talk about that one in a second. Yeah. But the thing about it's a tool, and I've heard a lot the argument that it's a tool.
The biggest
it's just
argument.
like when you guys started doing digital art, and it's like, yeah, but you see, that is based on a fundamental misunderstanding of how digital art works.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've heard a lot of people that just think that all you do is you press the make image button in Photoshop, and Photoshop makes the image.
Oh,
which
I have to describe that even still. Like, well, AI aside, people have always.
Oddly enough, there is a make image button now.
Now,
now we got that button. But people always seem to assume that you just go into Photoshop and just paint dragon button. Just have Photoshop paint the dragon for you. And so when people say like, oh, it's just the same as digital art, they're not understanding the fundamental difference, and it's that Photoshop doesn't do the work for me. It's just, I got it, like I still have to use a pen. It's just that this pen has a little bit more conveniences built into it.
We have an undo button. Like, that's my favorite.
Like we have an undo button. Like this, and that's, I think, the fundamental difference. This tablet and this pen and Photoshop do make my life as an artist easier. They do not do the work for me.
Yeah.
No, you can absolutely go right back to a piece of paper and have the same skills translate.
And also, I don't like I don't get to tell Photoshop like, hey, why don't I make a dragon today with boobs, of course. And it makes it. That doesn't happen. That is what AI does.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you just tell AI what you want. Now, I do know, and before anybody comes in to argue, which, by the way, I do not appreciate you.
I do. They're still listening. Hi.
Welcome. Yeah. Welcome, AI
Stay
bros.
here with us.
It's like, yes, I understand that to get really good AI images, you do have to put a little bit of extra work into it. Oh my God, you work 20 minutes? Poor little you. But so I do acknowledge that it takes a little bit more skill
to get a better AI image.
Yeah, to get a better image. But that's just like saying like I'm really skilled at doing Google searches. I'm sorry. Like
Okay, so I have a bit of an example of this though, in the using it as a tool aspect. In that I brought this up to Mal a little bit earlier. My boss is very pro AI. He's open about it, so I'm not afraid to talk about this here. And I am very much against, and we have had arguments on this, but he has tried to sprinkle it in. Like, maybe we just use it for initial references, for lack of a better word, or we use it to just get an idea. Those are the kind of things that he wants to use AI for. Not to put the main image that we put on social medias, but to use it as a tool for my creative process. Like, that's what he wants for me. And I had to have a very hard, like, no, I don't want to. Thanks. But not happening. But how long can I do that? Is it, like, hurting me in jobs by having such a strong stance, too? And is that bad? Or is that good? Well, I don't know.
Here's another question for you. And first of all, might I add, how sad is it, like, okay, if you want AI to make the image for you because you're lazy or whatever, like, I don't support it, but I get it. But in this case, it's like, let's even have AI do the thinking for us.
Mm-hmm.
Let's have it do the thinking. Like, we can get ideas from it. I'm like, dude, like you're even delegating your creativity.
Yeah.
The AI, at least when it's like, look, I can be creative and the AI will do the work for me. I still don't support it, but I get it. You're lazy. You're lazy. You're creative, but you're lazy. I get it. I feel lazy sometimes too. But this other case is like, I don't even want to be creative. I don't even want to think.
Well, it's coming from a person who's not as creative, right? Like, I'm trying to use words carefully here because I am talking about my current boss. But I don't want to sit here and be like, he's not creative. Like, he might take insult to that. But I will say he comes from a different place that does have this mindset of running a business and trying to do things fast and efficient. And that's where the AI art, the sparkles come in, and he's like, ooh, AI, right? I see it from a business where that gets shiny and cool.
Yeah.
I
But
see it
approaching
like
your
when
artist,
people-
exactly how you said, approaching your artist and trying to take away their creativity is a whole.
But that's the thing. Like when people start going like, because it's happened to me. Like, so would you use AI? No, it's not allowed. What about if I use it for like ideas though? No, you're just trying to find a way to wiggle in there. Like you're just trying to find a way to just wiggle your way into with the AI. It's like it's kind of like, oh, I can't think of any decent examples that wouldn't be like awful and shouldn't be bleeped entirely. So I know I had analogies, but they were all dirty. So let's not go there. But it is kind of like, oh, you want to do like, do you want me to touch you? No. But what if I touch you like this? No. But what if I just touch you with my pinky? No.
Yeah.
What if I just touch you like on the butt? You won't even see. So it's like, no, I don't care how you do it. I don't want you to do it. And it's the same thing with AI. It's like, like, what if you just use it for like, I don't know, like ideas and concept? No, not even a little. I said no. When people say that, like, oh, we're just gonna use it for this part, it's like,
well, and then you get the comparing it to, it's no different than looking up your inspiration on Pinterest or Google. It's no different.
Which technically is no different anymore, because Pinterest is just AI central now. And it's AI central now.
Yeah.
I stopped using Pinterest.
Yeah.
I have my boards that I've created from before, and they're plethora of references still, so I can still use them.
Yeah. But
sucks.
So the other thing that I hear a lot is it's the democratization of art. Have you guys heard that
can
one?
you elaborate kind of what that means before we go discussing it?
When I've heard it, the basic idea is that, okay, I'm not going to sound objective, and guess what? I don't care. So it comes from the idea that art is like an elite activity that only a select few can do. And so they kind of hold, and I've heard this, by the way, I've heard this argument that we hold art hostage. that like, because we can do the art. Like we can do the art. Therefore, we hold it hostage. And AI allows the democratization of art, because now anybody that has creativity can do it. They don't have to go through you and your high prices and you're holding the art hostage. Now, if I have an idea, I can create it. It's open to everybody. Hence the democratization of art, which actually is kind of a misunderstanding of the word democracy, but whatever.
Yeah.
So that is another argument that I hear for AI a lot. And when they expand upon it, it's like, okay, so for example, what about like a small indie game company of just 2 programmers with no money? Like they don't even have computers. They have to program with their nipples or something because they're that poor. And so they can't afford an artist. But now with AI, they can make their game. The art has been democratized. Now everybody can do it. And the poor people that didn't have access to art, be it because of lack of money or lack of skill or both, now they can access that art.
That is spoken
I hope
people.
my sarcasm was.
Oh, it's strong. You're good. Yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah, okay, good.
That
awesome.
comes from the people who are saying that have never gone on a Reddit board for starving artists in their life, because any 2 programmers in that analogy right there could go to Reddit. Not saying that people should be charging their work like this, but they will find very good artists asking for pennies.
Yeah.
To work on projects.
But what do you think about the idea that, because if you think about it, this whole argument comes from the idea that it is unfair that you can do art and I cannot.
People can sing and I cannot. People can do makeup better. I cannot. There is a craft in every facet of life. People can cook better. You don't look at chefs and being like, it is just something that the elitists have. And, why is it that art gets that little, hat put on it?
Well, do you think maybe it has something to do with people having a little bit of trouble seeing art as a legitimate job?
Yeah, maybe. But then again, I wish that it's we need to interview somebody who doesn't think art is a job, because I would love to pick their brain, right? Why I want to know why someone can say a chef is an excellent job and full of high prestigiousness, and an art job necessarily isn't, until you've reached a certain level, right? Like, you get to a point where you've worked on, I don't know, you're the lead art director on some Blizzard game. Then even the non-artists out there idolize that person. They're like, oh, this is the lead art director for Overwatch. And they get excited and it's fun. And they're like, this person is on God level tier and they have things to say. But their neighbor, who might paint just as well, they don't have that, oh, that's not a job. Like, you're a starving artist who works out of your basement. And, I don't know.
Because think about all the times that we've seen or heard that the YouTubers, they're gonna lose all their jobs, and people are like, good, fuck them, they should get real jobs. And I've seen that with art and AI images and stuff like that. People say those elitist artists, they're just angry because they're gonna have to get real jobs now. And those elitist artists charging, overcharging and stuff like that. So hence the whole idea of the democratization of art. Mm-hmm. Now anybody can do it. Now we can all express ourselves. And I think that it has something to do with current day sort of mentality, where it's whatever I want, not only can I have it, but I deserve to have it. So it's I wish I could make good art, because you guys have probably gotten that. I wish I could draw as well as you.
Yeah.
And you always say, what do you say when you get told that? You say, thank you. Thank you.
Practice.
But no, but that's the thing. It's I don't know you guys, but I don't answer this anymore. When people say, I wish I could draw as well as you. Well, you could. If you practice it for 40 years, go ahead.
Especially in this day and age, when the amount of knowledge for how to draw on the internet is infinite. Infinite. You could watch a YouTube video forever and never run out, of information. YouTube video after YouTube after YouTube video.
Well, what do you think of this? And Mao, you've been very quiet.
Yeah,
He's listening.
He's been replaced with an AI. Oh my god!
No. They found out.
But I've heard that is actually a problem.
What is?
Basically that us old timers, we had to put a little bit more effort into being able to have access to learn the things that we learned.
Yeah, we had to buy a book.
Right now, it is. Yeah. Well, we had to look for classes, buy books. It just wasn't that accessible. And now that there's basically access to everything, it's now you don't want to learn because
it's true. If it doesn't make you an instant star overnight, is it worth it?
Yeah, and an argument that I saw that was interesting about it was that people are the other side. Let's call them that, the AI enthusiasts.
AI artists?
Yeah.
AI bros.
The pro AI. They said, and I do understand it, again, from their perspective, it's but artists, they keep their secrets and they never show how they make their art. And it's like, no, that's completely not true. If you look at a normal artist, you can see their process. You can see sometimes you can download their brushes. You can see their tutorials. It's a completely falsified idea of like, no, they're keeping their secrets so we cannot use it. And it's like, that's not true. It's a weird way to argument that.
Well, I have met as a teacher, I have met students that do kind of act like what they do is a secret that they have to keep. Normally, it comes from insecurity.
Yeah, I don't want to show the process halfway through when it's ugly.
Of course. If you're cheating, you don't want to show the process.
Well, not even that. I mean, it was something that I did for a long time. Like, Dan comes in over my shoulder and I'm done yet, right? Like, you don't want to show the process out of sake of like, don't judge it.
But not even
it's ugly right now.
There was a student at the university, I won't say his name, but there was a student at the university where I studied at that would be like, how did you make that? And he was like, no, you have to learn yourself. And it was like, can you even like teach me how you use the Photoshop commands? No, those are mine. It's like, okay, those people exist.
No, and I know who he's talking about. Of course, we won't say the name. And I remember I would hear stories that, like, for example, he would do team assignments. He would refuse to do the drawing part in front of his like teammates. He would just go do it at his house and stuff like that because he didn't want like them to maybe like. But I do think those are yes, kind of a douche, but totally a douche actually. But I think those are the exception, right? Normally, artists are very, very open, and it's precisely because of that. Because it's like, look, you can watch me draw all day. Like that's not the secret sauce, right? Like this, no, you can't like kiss me and steal my powers. But at the same time, why do you think people are? Why do you think it's so important for these people to be able to not only create these images, but share them and like, because it's one thing if you just go into the mid-journey thing and you just make an image and you go, hee hee hee, and that's it. And you just enjoy it in the end. But no, they are putting this out, art there. Well, if you want to call it art, but they're putting these images out there and fighting for them.
Yeah.
Where do you think that comes from?
I'm very strongly feeling that it is a need to fit in. The fact that they do view art as this unobtainable, kept thing that is so cool over in this little cool bubble that we just get to admire from afar. And now I get to pretend to be part of it. And even maybe try and hide that I'm using AI to be a part of it. So you'll get those people that are trying to weasel into communities and use like AI images just to feel good about themselves. Like, look what I made. And everyone goes, wow, that's so amazing. Especially if you can't quite tell it's AI, right?
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. That looks so good. And they get that adrenaline rush. They get that high that, we get as artists too. It does feel good when we post our art out there and people are like, wow, that is amazing. And you feel all like, oh, yay. They're getting that for no work. It is an addiction. It is fun and cool to feel good about yourself. And then they can do the next one. They can just do it again instantly. Like, oh, maybe I should wait a day so it looks like I actually painted it again. Like, to post another one. I don't know.
Okay.
So I think it's a want to look cool.
Yeah.
So here's one. What do you like? What situations or what uses of AI images and video and stuff like that are you like, okay, I gotta admit that's pretty cool. I hate.
Yeah.
Okay.
I kind of
let's go.
One, because when this whole thing started, you got like the fun questions. Like, for example, the memes. I love memes. That's my life. And there were memes where you would see, like, for example, the Office actors with all their faces and bodies replaced for, I don't know, Pam's face. And it would be like Pam talking with like Kevin's body or whatever. those were the fun ones. Those were like, we need more memes like that, and we need like those kind of tools for the
putting
fun.
Schwarzenegger on all the actresses.
Yes, that one. Yeah, that one was awesome. That one was like,
I love Schwarzenegger Titanic.
Yeah,
Schwarzenegger Titanic
so
is
good.
the best thing ever.
Jack.
Look at my boobies, Jack.
Yeah. But then there was one where I was like a little conflicted because there's a musical band that I love, which is called Gunship. Gunship music, they create like this, or they play the instruments themselves. They have made like this retro 80s kind of music that's like synthesized, and they're really talented musicians. I love both Alex and Dan. They're like really good. But when the AI started,
you need to do it more like shout out to Alex and Dan.
Yeah. I just love them. They're
from, yo represent.
Yeah, they are from the band Fight Star, which is my favorite band, and they created Gunship. And I think I've shown you this some of their videos and stuff. They're really good. But then they made a video when the AI videos were starting, where the video, I think it's called Ghost, Gunship Ghost, if you want to look at it. And they posted the question in the video. They say like a disclaimer before the video starts. And it's, we asked AI what the AI thinks happens after death. And the entire video is AI images creating like what the AI thinks comes after death. And it is an interesting concept. And I say I am conflicted with this because I love the band. I love the music they make. But if they're monetizing from this video that they created with just prompts from it, there's the gray line where I'm like, should they have done this as like an actual music video that they're profiting from? Or was this like a meme song or whatever? Or I don't know. I don't know where the line is drawn. So I want to hear your guys' opinions on stuff like that.
I think I have an idea of where I would draw that line.
Yeah.
And I think it comes from the example you said before. Example, I enjoyed for a minute these YouTube videos that were like it was like bodybuilding Harry Potter.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't know if you guys have seen this. That it's like all the characters in Harry Potter, but as if the whole idea of Hogwarts was bodybuilding.
Yeah, it's great.
So, or some other time where I would see like images, it was like classical music to lift weights to. So the video was like just classical music, like, you know, the actual classical music. But the images were like all the classical music composers, but like lifting weights and super buff and all that stuff. And like in you know, like the time period and everything. These are things that I think, okay, this like you said, this is just shit posting. This is memeing.
No one's trying to be something they're not with that. Yeah. They're doing it strictly to be funny.
It's
to hit a chord.
Well, not just to be funny. It's stuff that nobody needed to do that. Nobody needed to waste their time with that. Like nobody needed okay, who knows? Maybe somebody would have wanted to draw all the characters in Harry Potter like a bunch of bodybuilders. But if they wanted to, they would have done it by now. This is just like a funny thing that somebody made in 5 minutes. I also enjoy, for example, the videos of like they grab like anime girls and they just make them like dance in very realistic ways, and it looks fascinating. These are things that just make me go, okay, I just see this as experimental or the laughs. We're memeing, we're having a good time. The end, let's get back to our lives. So I think my line is when I feel that somebody could have and would have done this and benefited from doing it.
And wanted to do it.
Is when I say, okay, no. And that's kind of what happened with the intro to Marvel's Secret Invasion.
Yeah.
That they did with AI.
I didn't know about
and it's like the intro to the Marvel Disney Plus show Secret Invasion, the whole intro sequence was done with AI.
Okay. I'm going to look that up.
So when confronted about it, they argued that, first of all, they had hired an agency to make the video. Like they did hire people to make it, but the agency made it with AI. And then they came up with some bullshit argument that it was like, it goes conceptually with the whole idea of the show and stuff like that. Like, yeah, the concept of who's human, the concept of like secrets and all that kind of, like, an artist could have worked with that concept and could have done it, right? And they could have done a much better job to begin with, because that intro is awful.
I haven't seen it.
You need to see it. You need to see it because it's that bad. Also because it's the thing about AI generated videos, especially videos, but images and videos in general, is that it has advanced at such a rate that when you see something like this, which was clearly done a year ago,
it looks bad.
It's like, oh my god, it is so bad.
Yeah.
So, but it's that, like, that's where I draw the line. It's like, okay, could a person have done this? Would have a person done this? And what if somebody wanted to and benefited from it? Like, that's when I say, okay, no. Just like, look how funny Harry Potter is he's a bodybuilder. It's like, yeah, great. You know, just you had your fun. It's awesome. You put it like on a YouTube short. End of story, right? Like congratulations on your 15th birthday. So that's where I draw the line. And for example, this example, as you were saying, I opened up here Gunship's YouTube page.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie. It's the same thing we were talking about before. I'm thinking, do I want to listen to this?
Right.
I don't even know which one it is.
It's the Ghost.
I don't even know which one it is.
The song called Ghost or something like that. Something with Ghost. And
like, do I want to listen to this group if they do that? And I don't know. I don't know.
That's the thing. And
do you still listen to them?
I do. I just
like their music isn't AI.
Yeah, they still make the music, right?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. They do make the music, but
like, are the following videos after that one? I see another 3.
I have no idea if they kept using it.
They kind of look like it. They got that AI vibe.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Got that AI vibe.
I have no idea. It's difficult. Like, but yeah, I don't know how to tackle that, because it's like with the whole. Should we just support the artists? Because, okay, here's where I'm trying to go with this. Maybe they don't know, and I'm playing like devil's advocate, even if I am really against AI. I'm trying to make it clear to the people listening that it's a slippery slope down there, because I don't think these artists saw what it can become after a while. Because if someone creates an entire band that was just taking their songs and making them into remixes of their music and profiting from this, I think they would get mad, and I think they'll try to sue the people if they make like Gunship 2 or AI Gunship and they start making music and profiting from it. So at first it seems like, yeah, haha, let's try this video and AI, haha, it's fun. And then it's like, oh, they're taking away my job now, and that's where the point goes. Like, it's really difficult to explain. Yeah,
it doesn't affect us that way more specifically, but there are those artists. Like, okay, I'm going to bring up Loish again. Yeah. Her name and a lot of other very high end people out there, more popular people, are being put in specifically into AI generators to get an output that looks like their work.
Yeah.
And that is another one that's just kind of like, why? Why do that? You wouldn't do that to a musical artist, right? That's a big no-no. They get these like fun little things of, I mean, unless you're doing like a cover band or you're trying to, mimic Elvis. There's those people out there who try to get as close to mimicking Elvis as possible. That's still different because they're doing it. It's their craft. They're not using AI to cover a band. They're not doing that to become Elvis. it's still kind of looked down upon in the art world. But if someone truly were like to mimic Loish's work by hand, themselves, I'd be like, dang, you can paint. Why did you choose to paint like someone who already existed? Whatever, but you probably shouldn't do that. But you can paint. Good, like
that's the thing. Like as a teacher, I've seen that throughout the years a lot.
Yeah,
and for
mimicry.
Some students, a lot of them, it is part of the process.
Yeah.
And that leads into the whole other argument that we didn't really stop on, and maybe we should, which is like, but AI is just doing the same thing you do, using references and stuff like that, which my answer would normally be a slap, but it's, if an artist is doing that, if an artist is just drawing like Loish, it's something a lot of artists, well, upcoming artists, do, and it's just part of the process. Eventually, they move out from there. They start to develop their own things and do their own things and stuff like that. And they start to get better at it. Eventually, they're doing their own thing, and you can still see the Loish influence like in there. But now it's a new, amazing thing, and it's their own. And
they took what they learned from mimicking. It ends up being a good thing eventually, because those really talented artists that they're mimicking have techniques that are worth copying to learn from. Like that's why people do paint with the great painters sometimes too. Like you learn techniques.
If you create AI images, and with the passage of time and experience, the AI images you create are better. Who got better? You? Or did the AI get better?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people would say, like, well, I got better at asking the AI to do it. Like, I got better at the prompts. Like, well, like you said with the chef, like, okay, if I go eat at a restaurant every day and the chef gets better, like, who do we think?
Your palate is more refined.
But I know how to ask for the menu.
I learned how to tell the chef what I wanted to eat better. Therefore, I will take credit for how good the food is. That I think is like, no, AI does not learn like you do. AI learns in a very different way from what you do. And here's my dilemma. I still want it to exist.
Yeah.
Because I do think that the technology is fascinating and interesting and could be useful. But not this way. Like, just like in other ways. Yes, I want whatever it is, like the car's camera to be able to identify like oh, you know, that is a dog, I should not run it over. So okay, and that is a person, full speed ahead. But like, you know, I want the car to be able to do that, like the car to be able to identify these images better, all that kind of stuff that is connected here, right? But at the same time, it's like, okay, I think it's very weird that AI is improving and we are kind of making it our accomplishment. I mean, if anything, we should praise the person that made it.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you unnamed programmer, good job. Like, but the person that wrote the prompt, like, oh, you're so good. Yeah. You should see me search on YouTube.
Well, and then they try and hide their prompts too.
Yeah.
Like that's
they don't share their prompts,
right? Like no, I'm not going to tell you.
And they'll complain about it.
Yeah,
they'll complain about it. Like, this person stole my prompts.
Yeah, the irony.
What? What? Yeah, really? Yes, exactly. It's like, oh, you don't get it. But here's the thing: what you said about, like, for example, think about what happened with Kim Jong-il, right? Like, guy dies. And here's the thing. Confession. I didn't know anything about Kim Jong-il. Now,
I did see his work, but never remembered anything.
Oh, wow. So I'm the only Kim Jong-il fan here. Wow.
I get. Well, I mean, it's good work.
No, not anymore, Mal. Okay.
I didn't
so
know.
here's the thing. Whenever a celebrity dies, and I think we could definitely make the argument that within the art world, Kim Jong-il was a celebrity.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure your mom doesn't know who he is, but he did.
Yeah.
And even when I didn't, like, when I wasn't familiarized with him, I knew the name. Then I always hated when celebrities die, because immediately everybody is like, oh, I loved him so much and stuff like that. When he died, unfortunately, one of the first things that kind of got to me was the whole AI thing with his work.
Yeah, you should probably describe it for people who don't know.
Okay, so what happened was somebody took like a bunch of Kim Jong-il's art and just fed it into an AI and had the AI basically make images that looked like they were made by Kim Jong-il.
On purpose to be his images. It wasn't just to be like, oh, look what AI can do. It was to replace, be a further continuation of his artwork line now that he's dead.
Yeah.
And
it's rather unfortunate that was what got me to look at his art, because I did, and now I'm a fan. Sorry, Mal, you're not alone. I'm more of a fan. Better. I like him better. No, I like him better than you do.
No, we can share. We can share.
No. I like him more.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm closer. So I'm a bigger fan. But it is unfortunate how I became a fan. And it is unfortunate that I did it, posthumously. Hey, we got there, right? And I'm a fan now, and I admire him. Yeah, and I admire him.
I have a similar story with the D&D, one of the D&D artists that didn't know his name, but because people were mimicking him in AI, who is this guy? I looked him up and went, his work. Excellent.
But here's the thing. I mean, first of all, if me never having known Kim Jong-il's amazing art is the price to pay for not having to deal with all this bullshit, I'll pay it gladly.
Yeah.
Let's turn back the time or forget about it. It's some artist Mal will mention 10 years in the future, and I'll just be like, what? Okay, and that's it. But here's the thing. As much as I admire him, and I know what I'm going to say is going to sound very harsh, Kim Jong-il is dead. It's very, very sad. But there should never be new art by Kim Jong-il, because Kim Jong-il is dead.
Yeah.
He lost an amazing artist. We have the art he made to remember him by.
And to admire already.
Yes. And that should be it. Yeah. We should not be making more of his art.
Yeah.
And that is not the way to pay respects to a person that, as far as I've read, was an amazing human being and inarguably amazing artist.
Yeah.
No. And it's the same thing with everybody. No, we should not have new music by Elvis. Elvis is dead. We have the music Elvis made when he was alive. It's great that we can enjoy it. It's great that we can learn about Elvis and enjoy his music, but there should not be new music made by Elvis. And the same goes for any artist in any category that has died, or that simply decided not to do it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't even have to die.
Yeah.
That's it. You get to enjoy what they made, and that should be it. That should be the end of it. And I do think that being able to create more, like just go like, nah, he ain't dead. He lives on through AI, and we make more art. That kind of devalues what they did. Like that kind of lowers the value of what they did. Fortunately, we're not swallowing that, right? Like we are rejecting it and stuff like that. But think about how sad it is. I haven't checked, so I might be wrong. But for example, if you look on Google for the girl with the pearl earring, is it that it's called?
Girl with the one pearl earring. Yep.
Yeah. The first image you get is the AI generated version.
Really?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh, I don't know if still. I mean, they might have changed it.
Check.
But that was like a big news thing. Like you search for that, and the first image you get is the AI one. And that's like, no. If there is something amazing about art, it's the legacy. It's the legacy of it all. It's the idea that Leonardo da Vinci died ages ago. he lives on through his art. He lives on through his legacy, the legacy
not
of his
only
art.
that,
Kim
but
Jong-il,
he inspires, or those artists inspire us newer generations to create more.
I mean, look at that. Kim Jong-il was there for a long time, and I had not noticed him. And the guy died, and he inspired me. Like, I became a fan. I was inspired by his life and his work and the things he did and his results. And now I use them in my classes, and I look at them and I admire them and all that kind of stuff. And that is one of the amazing things about art, that we as artists can create, then that thing just endures throughout time. And it transcends us. And I know this is getting like super deep, whatever, but it's like that. It's like your legacy. You made these images, and one day you will not be here, but those images, maybe not all of them, but a lot of them will continue and will continue to inspire people and all that kind of stuff. And when you just grab these people's art, you feed it into an AI and go like, hey, look, here's AI artist. It's like you are taking that away.
That's not going to last through the years. It's not. You're not going to be able to pull up that AI bros thing he made some Wednesday afternoon 30 years from now.
But that's
and be like,
but that's
wow,
one of the problems I have with it. Like I just, so I Googled him when I mentioned it to make sure I was getting it right.
Yeah.
I hit Google Images, and now I have to think about, are all these images legit? Now I have to think about that crap. Now I have to look at these images and wonder if I'm actually getting the legit thing. Like, now I have to wonder about that.
Yeah.
I'm looking at these images and going, okay. And look, and this is even worse. Like, I'm looking at it right now, and a lot of the results are about AI.
Mm-hmm.
Because of what happened.
His entire life's work is now around a topic that
I have a worse example.
Oh, that is so horrible.
No, there's an even worse one.
Really?
When I think you guys know about the artist named Queenie that also passed away recently.
Mm-hmm.
After she passed away, her family still keeps like their social media and whatever still there as a memorial. What's the name?
Memorial.
Yeah, a memorial. And some douche, and this is a douchebag, I don't know if it was from DeviantArt or whatever, and they fed her art through the machine and started selling artwork, like AI artwork from Queenie's style, as if she was still alive. Like, I'm Queenie, I'm still doing this. And I was like, oh man. And of course, every artist
people believed them? Like, because their goal
didn't know,
not have noticed that she died or something?
That's the thing. Some people didn't know that she died. So this douche was just profiting out of that. And of course, the family sued. And it was like horrible because I think it was one of their siblings posting like, hey, this is horrible. I don't want to go through my sister's art like again through this because this is very painful, and now I have to sue this douchebag that's profiting off of this. It's like, what's wrong with people? I hate this so much. Yeah, I hope I said her name right. I don't remember if it's that.
I will report that currently at the recording of this podcast, if you Google girl with the pearl earring, no longer is the first image the AI image. Ooh. But here's the thing. That made the news.
Yeah.
So this was months ago. So they probably had to intentionally, because Google can manipulate the results. Yeah. They probably had to intentionally make it so that's not the first image that shows.
Yeah.
But so now when you look for a girl with the pearl earring, you get the girl with the pearl earring. And actually, I do not see the AI image scrolling down. Do not see it. You actually have to Google specifically girl with the pearl earring AI to see the image.
Yeah.
But still, thing is, now I look at these images And I'm still wondering which one of these are AI. And I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate that I have to wonder that. Like, I hate that I have to look at the art from my favorite artists and wonder how many of those are legit. And here's like a okay, so you guys have heard that Leonardo da Vinci, in spite of all his incredible skill and everything, was not very prolific. He only made like 16 or 17 paintings throughout his entire life. Yeah. Obviously, he did a lot of other things, but in terms of painting, there's only like I might get the number wrong. I apologize, but
yeah, he has more drawings than paintings.
Yeah,
more so.
So the thing is that there is a doubt in the art world of if actually those paintings are all his, because apparently, art forgery. There's like there are so many fascinating documentaries about the world of art forgery. Like, really, it's a fascinating topic. I highly suggest.
Well, there's that movie that was the Big Eyes movie about the guy that took all of his wife's work and claimed it as his own.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm sure that was a modern example, but I'm sure it existed way back when too. When women couldn't paint, and you're the husband of a wife who can, and I'm gonna take all your work in Renaissance times.
Yeah.
So the thing is that like at a certain point, there's like this shadow of a doubt cast on the paintings that we know of Leonardo da Vinci, because it's like, yeah, we can't like take them apart to prove if they are legit or not. So we just have to live not knowing 100%. Now, there might be somebody in the comments or something saying like, no, we actually do know, whatever. But that's not the point. The point is that even that, like, that still sucks. Like, it still sucks to look at Leonardo da Vinci's work and wonder, I wonder if this was actually made by Leonardo da Vinci. Even if you're 99% sure, it's like, still wonder, though.
Yeah.
And that is what I get now from all of this. You do a Google image search, you go on Pinterest, like we were talking about before. I go on Pinterest, I look for images for reference, I make my reference board, and every now and then I'm like, okay, so let's see this glove. Let's go. Oh no, It was AI. It was AI. And I can't use that as reference anymore. And not even for any ethical reasons or anything like that. Like, no, I need an actual glove.
Yeah.
Like, I need an actual glove to use as a reference, not an AI.
A long time ago, when AI was first budding through, and we were having discussions about it when you were streaming, you had mentioned briefly that it's going to be more important for artists and more valued for artists to show their process. That's going to be a big kicker of like who's putting in the work and we're going to be like, it's no longer social medias of just final pieces. You're seeing the social medias of people being like, here's my sketch, or a recording of my whole process in the screen. And that's when the comments come rolling in of like, wow, that's so cool. I love seeing your work and how you do it. And that's always been kind of cool, but it's becoming more prevalent. Like, look, I actually put in the work to make this painting, and here's how I did it. It's cool. It's more of a.
Well, I got a question for you guys from that, and I'll. Before I ask this question, I will say to all our listeners and viewers, because by the way, you should be viewing this. I look phenomenal today.
Yeah. We'll do. Come on.
Yeah, sure. Here's the thing. Please keep in mind that the three of us are just talking from our points of view. We are not experts in AI. We are experts in art. I would argue that we are experts in art. We do have experience in the world of art, but when it comes to AI, we're just talking about what we've seen and our impressions. So, right before I ask this next question, I do say, like, I apologize in the name of us three. I'm sure that my two co-hosts will agree with me. If we got anything wrong, if any kind of misinformation or anything like that we might have gotten wrong, hey, we're just talking about our impressions here. And so, with that said, where do you guys think this is going?
Okay, so
like our very ignorant predictions. Ignorant predictions. We should have a sign. Like,
truthfully, warning. I think to a degree, when you are a starting out artist and you don't have the backing of years of experience to get you that really cool high up director job or something, you're just starting in the industry. You're probably gonna have to suck it up to some art director who wants to use AI. I can see that. I can see it being an unavoidable. You're not going to be able to afford to say, I have a stance on no AI and put your foot down. You're going to run out of jobs probably pretty quickly. Your pickings are going to be a lot slimmer.
Okay, wait.
It's not right now, but I'm saying later. I see that.
Let's add a little bit of spice to this question. Okay. Let's add a little bit of spice to this question. Okay, because we have the term. Oh yeah, you know me. I'm all spicy. Yeah, that's spicy ramen that Spike is eating.
Nice.
Okay. We have established that Sabrina works in the video game industry.
Yes.
That Mao works as a freelance commission artist.
Yep.
And I work as an RPG illustrator. So, where do you think this is going in your industry? And how is it affecting it right now?
Yeah.
I guess I'll start.
Yeah.
I kind of briefly mentioned earlier that right now it is affecting me because my boss is pro AI. But he is also, fortunately, understanding. At this current point in time, I was able to voice my opinions, I was heard, and I don't have to work with AI in my day-to-day job. Not for lack of him trying. He still sends me cool articles, or I say cool loosely here. He thinks they're cool, of, wow, look what it can do now. Or I just signed up for the beta for Photoshop Firefly. We should use it.
Yeah.
So he's like he's like the lame dad or uncle sending you videos like you're an artist, Sabrina, check this out.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, yes. Because wow. I think it's a slight attempt at being like, don't you find this cool? Like, it's cool. Can we use it? Are you feeling better about it now, Sabrina? Can we use it?
Oh my God, AI dad.
Yeah, I am on a firm stance that I don't want to use it right now, and I am lucky to have to. But in terms of how it can go, I do see in the game industry, when you are talking about the behind-the-scenes thing that isn't on the forefront of, like, this is the released game, these are the released concept art pieces, these are the released, I say also concept art, the pretty concept art, not the true concept art behind closed doors.
Yeah.
The stuff that goes into the process of making a video game, I can see AI being in there because they just want the end product. They don't care about the creativity beforehand. That's how it is going to affect the game world, I think. I think those very, very low, very early stage process stuff is going to be replaced with AI. When some director, the ideas guy, comes up with his game idea and he puts that first whiteboard of reference images up on the board, it's going to be 99% AI images just to get the idea across. That's going to, before he even approaches his actual concept team, he's going to have images to represent what they want. Unfortunately. Because then that also sets a bar for all of those concept artists. Instead of seeing what the concept artists could have come up with on their own, he's already, I say he, could be a girl too, it's going to have a set vision already because of these AI images. There won't be that creative step. But I think that's where AI is going to slip in. I really do. And I don't think we can fight it too much when it's such an early stage. It's like, what harm does that do? I can point out what harm it does, but I don't think everybody sees it that way. So.
And wait, I do have a question about that. If in a hypothetical situation, you were to look for a job in the game industry right now, do you think you would have to compete with AI as it is right now to get a new job?
Right now, no. Yeah. I don't think so. Not quite yet. Just because AI isn't quite at that level of being adaptable. You're kind of set with what you get. And even if you put in the exact same prompt that you had put in previously, put it right back through, you won't get the same image.
Yeah.
It's going to interpret it a whole new different way, even though you put in your exact same phrasing, just one right after the other. So to make those like tinier tweaks, you're either going to have someone who's a Photoshop wizard to Photoshop your AI images exactly how you want them, or yeah, AI just needs to get better, and it will. So once it is, then yeah, that's where it is going to be in the jobs, competing for the lower level places, the art directors and the higher up concept artists, senior levels stuff. They're not going to be affected. No, not at all. It's the baby intro people that are going to have a hard time finding their foot in the door, I think.
Yeah, that's true. I think...
How about you, Mo? How do you see...
Yeah, from my perspective and my own career or whatever that I'm doing right now, I have been lucky enough that my clients understand the value of an actual artist and not some AI generated image, because they value what the artist can do. And I heard this a little while ago. I think it was Ego Raptor talking about this. And he said that they were asking him about how he felt about AI and those things. And he said that when he looked at an image and he said like, okay, this is a cool drawing, and he saw AI in the title, he would be like, nah, I hate this. No, never mind. It's not impressive anymore, because you value the person behind it. You value what the whole story creates. So I know my answer is a little more, I don't know if hippie or whatever, but in the community that I am as a commissioned artist, the clients and the artists and the community itself values the effort that is put into each artwork, because it's like a special kind of drawing, let's say, or every image. It's not as corporate as working for like a company when you work with a personal client that I one-to-one. So that in that area, I'm kind of lucky, let's say, but I do understand like other kind of commissioned artists that have to compete with, yeah, some clients just want to, I want this done in an hour, and I want like 50 different images, and you have to start competing with that. And I've seen some of my work affected by that. As I was saying, it sounds kind of counteractive, but I've been lucky that my clients appreciate my art. But then again, I have been seeing like the ramifications of, yeah, there's way more kind of, I don't know, generated art that's competing with commissioned artists. So that's what I think so far from it. And I don't know about the future of it, because I can't tell if people will be like more inclined into, oh yeah, let's go ahead full on AI and forget about like the artists that have been doing this, or if they will be like, no, let's support the artists and let's support like the effort and the story behind it and the personal style that they've developed. Yeah, in the process. And yeah, that's what my thoughts so far. How about you?
Well, it's in the RPG industry, like in the RPG publication industry. There's already role-playing games that are out there with AI art in them. Obviously, I don't appreciate that. I would never buy or support a publication with AI images in it. But the higher tier of RPG publication seems to still be very, very much against it. And that is because RPG art tends to be considered very high level art. So it's a very important part of the product.
It has a standard quality.
Yeah.
Like you can't imagine like a D&D book or a Magic the Gathering card or a Pathfinder or Traveler or Warhammer without the art in it, right? Like that. I mean, a Magic the Gathering card without the art is just.
I don't think it would be what it is today. No.
Yeah. And I think they are aware of that. These companies definitely put a lot of value into the art that they have, and you do notice as an artist that the higher the prestige of a role-playing game, the higher the quality of the art. Like you expect a prestigious role-playing game to have the best art. And for us artists, it's the same thing. Like, as an artist, I aspire to one day be a Magic the Gathering artist, and I aspire to one day be able to illustrate for Dungeons and Dragons and Pathfinder and Warhammer and these things. It's something I aspire to, and my aspiration is linked directly to I hope that one day I am good enough to illustrate for these things. So there's kind of like this relationship between the artists and the product and the company where we all know that we're in it together. And like, yes, you know, I make the art that makes your product beautiful, and you know that you need your product to be beautiful in order for it to have access to those higher levels. Yeah, do well. Of course, there's everything about the mechanics and all that kind of stuff. So when you see role-playing games with AI images, you immediately assume, oh, this is like just some guy that published the role-playing game out of his basement, like just had some wild idea up his ass and, you know, just pooped it onto a book and filled it with AI art. And it's like, okay. And you know that if they want that book to access those higher levels, they will have to re-edit it and add some real art into the book.
And showcase it's not just a little image in the corner. You have to be like, this was done by this person, and it's blown up the whole page. Like,
and we have had those cases. That, like, you know, there was the very famous case. I don't know, maybe like a month ago or something, where some D&D book came out with an AI generated image in it, and it was a huge scandal and all that. And
it was I will say it was an AI assisted image. Yes. Not that like
but
makes
even
it
then
better.
Even then as an artist I'm like no. But in their defense, they immediately like course corrected, immediately said, oh, we're gonna fix this, and they made a rule like, yes, we don't allow people were like very I would even say mean about it. They said things like, there's no way they didn't know. Oh, dude, it's totally possible. It's totally possible that
I don't think they knew, because the guy had been making images for them for a long time before AI art even existed. He's a good artist.
People would argue like, oh, he'd been posting about AI for months now. It's like, I don't think the people at Wizard of the Coast are checking the Instagram accounts of every single person that works for them.
No. He's produced quality work in the past. He'll produce quality work in the future. That's all they cared about. They're like, let's just hire this guy to make this image. No, he can.
And people argue like, oh, they were just testing the waters. And that's where I kind of maybe have a little bit of a controversial opinion. And it's like, I don't fault them for that. Like, they're a company. I don't think it's weird. Why is it weird that a company's trying to make money?
Yeah.
That's their purpose.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm sorry if this breaks anybody's heart, but Wizard of the Coast does not exist to entertain you. Entertaining you is how they make their money.
Yeah.
That is their purpose. Their purpose is to make money, and they make it by entertaining you.
And slap on the wrist, they did learn their lesson and now know they will make their money by putting in proper painted art.
And what I mean is like, and I don't fault them for like, hey, maybe we can save money on this. Oh, no, we can't. No, we can't. Okay.
I doubt they saved money on that though. They probably paid that artist the same he's always been painted because they didn't.
But I don't even think that was the case. But if it was them trying to see where they could cut costs.
Mhm.
I don't blame them for that. Like, okay, yeah, you're trying to see where you can cut costs in this very difficult economic time, and you're a corporation trying to make money. I get it. Didn't work. You said you wouldn't do it again. That's good enough for me. So that is the situation right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where is it going? Well, this is very, very prediction, like me trying to tell the future here. I think art, like actual legit art made by actual legit artists, is going to become more and more prestige. I think it's going to become. I've seen like a lot of the publications that I work for now include 100% made by humans in their tags and stuff like that. Like they will now promote that part.
Yeah,
of
it's
it.
a
Like,
badge of
here's our
honor
book.
at that point.
It's 100% made by humans, and we hired all these artists, and we respect them and stuff like that. And even I appreciate that. I've actually participated. Like, yes, and I made it 100% myself.
Yeah,
stuff like that. I think art will become more prestige. I do think it will become a little bit more competitive because there's levels, right? And there's things where it's like, okay, AI will affect our jobs. I think it already is. And I think it's only going to get worse because AI is only going to get better. So as it gets worse, it is going to get a little bit more competitive and it is going to get a little bit more cutthroat. I do think that we artists are going to have to up our game a little bit, not just against the AI, but amongst ourselves. Right? Like these companies that are hiring 100% real artists, they're going to become more and more difficult to get in with. That industry is going to become more and more competitive because as it happens with all things on the internet, remember NFTs, which, by the way, it's no big coincidence that all the NFTs all the crypto bros became NFT bros, and all the NFT bros became AI bros.
Yeah.
Now they're crypto NFT AI bros, which I suppose we can come up with a name for them.
Yeah.
I'll just go with douche. But think about this. Think about a couple of years ago, how much we were all going like NFTs, NFTs, and stuff like that. And the thing kind of like died out a little bit. But now there's like stuff with NFT. Like it's not as big a deal anymore because they're not shoving it in our faces all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But now there's a bunch of stuff with NFTs out there and people are just like, NFTs. Whatever. Like nobody cares anymore.
Yeah.
So there was like this big boom of it where we were all pushing back. And once the boom died, NFTs still exist. People still do it. And people just stopped. But like people just stopped pushing back so much. It's like, whatever. I think the same thing is going to happen with AI. I think I think actually the boom has died down a little bit. You don't see it as much anymore. It's not in the news all the time anymore. Like all that kind of stuff kind of dies down a little bit. And then it's going to start popping up again, just not making that much noise. People are not going to care as much anymore. So you're going to start seeing it and stuff. Now people are not going to make a big deal out of it.
It normalizes it, unfortunately.
Yeah, it is going to get normalized. I do believe it will be. And what's going to happen is that you're just going to get companies that are like, yeah, we use 100% human artists, but now it's a much more prestige job. Now it's much more difficult to get. I don't know if it's going to pay more or less.
Yeah. We're going to be even see on like an organic label or cruelty-free products. We're just 100% human-made.
All our artists are like they're free-range artists. They run around and sniff each other's hands and stuff. Like, But I don't know. Like maybe these products will be more expensive because they're 100% like.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be something?
Well, I don't know if we artists are going to benefit from that.
No.
No.
But I do see it going that way. I see it going that way. I think it's gonna die down a little bit, get normalized. Then the 100% human artist thing is going to become prestige thing. And for us artists, that just means that it's going to get a little bit more competitive or a lot. It's going to get a little bit more difficult or a lot. And and I think that maybe we should do this to kind of close a little bit. Because as a teacher, because this is the other side of, like, I work in RPGs, I work as a teacher, and the other way that this has affected my profession as a teacher is I see young and upcoming artists so ready to give up.
Yeah.
That like it's just, I've had so many young artists that are just starting out that have told me, like, what is even the point? And so what if we close this all, after a couple of hours of just pure ignorance that we've done here?
Yeah.
What if we close this all by, okay, to the artists that are out there either starting out or, are feeling affected by this, confused. I've seen a lot of anxiety and all that around this. What would you say? What would you say? What would you advise to upcoming artists that are worried, artists that are feeling lost, artists that are feeling confused? What would you say?
If it's fun and you are enjoying it, keep at it. I don't know, because we've struggled with that ourselves without AI in the mix.
Yeah.
Unsure. We've all been at that bad stage. I mean, everyone goes through it too. It's about committing through it. And I think, it's going to be more competitive, and you have to compare yourself to more great art out there, because AI art is going to be great.
Yeah.
It's just about if you find it fun. I mean, really, that's it. If it's not a chore to you, then I say it's worth it. I don't know. It's very touchy-feely. If your heart's in it.
That's beautiful. Yeah. But I do agree with what you're saying, and I want to add to it a little bit. In a way, I'm more competitive, let's say, in my own kind of personality. And I say, bring it on. If you're beginning, bring it on. Let's work together and become better artists, and it's like another bump in the road for me. So if you're starting out, I do see the fear of, it's going to be more competitive, more difficult to get jobs for sure. But don't be afraid to, let's do this. Let's go in and beat all the AI bros and whatever. Let's become better artists and push each other, with the help of the actual art community, become stronger together. And I know this is very anime-ish or whatever. I will try to even post the image that I talk about in the in the video format. But I love this comic that I was telling the other day about. I don't know what manga it's from. I'll try to look it up for. But it's like this awesome image of this warrior that gets asked something like, does it this encourage you to know that there are stronger people out there than you? And the guy says, no, it invigorates me. So that's how I feel about it. And don't give up. Just keep going and become even better than you could have become if AI didn't exist. That's kind of my take on it.
Well, I would start by saying, look, art has never been easy. It wasn't easy before. I think Sabrina said this a little bit ago. It wasn't easy before AI came in to, be in our punch. So first of all, look, art is a struggle, but then again, life is a struggle. Right? So
you're getting very deep.
But if you came into art thinking this was going to be an easy ride, I'm sorry. That's not the way this goes. Art is not easy. Actually, I wouldn't even dare to tell you where you could go if you wanted it easy.
You can't.
I don't know.
AI art.
Hey, there you go. Like, if you're so, that's the solution. Like, yeah, either become an AI bro, or I don't know, or get inheritance. That I hear that's really good.
Yeah.
But if you weren't here expecting this to be easy, and now you're worried because it's not going to be easy any longer, well, guess what? It wasn't easy. This is hard. And what I would say is, look, level up. Level up. Take that course. Like take that course. Follow that tutorial that you have there that you've been like procrastinating on starting. That course,
and
that
honestly,
tutorial.
Find an art community, because that is one way to motivate yourself. Be around like-minded people, and heck, join ours.
Yeah.
Send us messages. We're here.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
But that is it. Like start studying, start practicing, take that course, get into that class, go into that community, start networking, get to work. It's not easy, and hey, I'm not gonna lie, it's not always fun. Not always fun, but get to work, because it's not easy. It's not gonna get easier. It is worth it.
Yeah.
Like that's what I would say. Like it is worth it. So if you really want this, and ask yourself, are you still going to want it even when it's not easy? If the answer is yes, then hey, welcome aboard. Take a seat. That's where you cry. That's where you sweat. No, that is all we do. So go ahead.
Like, we'll all be little shrimp backs together.
Yeah. We're all here, ruining our backs, working hard, but having a great time. So that would be my advice to people that maybe are starting up or are a little confused or a little worried. And it's like, hey, no, get to work, toughen up. This ain't easy, but would we be defending it that much? Would we be so passionate about it if it was easy? I don't know. Whenever I'm playing a video game and I put it in God mode, I always get bored like 10 minutes later. And I actually do think that is going to happen with the AI bros. I honestly do think.
Bored.
I think that they are going to get bored of it. If they're not getting, I mean, have you noticed that there's less AI images out there?
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. I think it's my theory is kind of picking up on it more, to be honest. It's just not an AI image. It's not a finished product. Look how pretty this is. It is a tool. Quotes.
But I do think that like it'll get boring. It'll get boring after a while. But at the same time, and I'm sorry to say this, I do think it's gonna get worse. I can't even say the whole thing like it's gonna get worse before it gets better. No, it's gonna get worse
and stay worse.
Period. Period. But if it is gonna get worse, then we have to get better.
Yeah.
Right? Like we have to get better. We have to level up. We have to put in the work. And that is my advice. Toughen up. We're in for a fight. And you know, we need warriors. So there you go. Right, Yuki?
Join our Dumbledore's army.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. We need that.
Kitty.
All right.
Yeah, that would be my.
Awesome. I think that's our podcast today.
Okay, we ended on a positive note.
Very inspirational.
Yeah.
Oh yes, so much inspiration.
So wow.
Yeah.
So much artist. Oh, I miss that meme. I miss that meme. That was one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Do you remember when memes were just like the black box with the picture in the middle and the text? Like that was it. Yeah. All memes were the black box.
Those were simpler times.
Oh yeah.
A couple of years ago.
Okay, should we film an outro for this, or should I stop recording, or?
I think we just do our intro and it's fine. I don't mind when the episode's just like we say something and it cuts, like it's the end. It's just whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
'Cause
Cold.
No,
cutting.
thanks for watching. No followers here.
No.
Nothing. Okay.
No.
Okay.
We
I'll
What
stop
do you mean thanks for
recording.
watching? We gave you this part. We're not even charging you. You should be thanking me.
I'll keep
What do you mean
this, by the
thanks
way.
for watching? You should be sending us messages. Thank you
Later,
for
if it
producing
comes
this
down to
incredible-
it, when we actually know what our socials are and everything,
Yeah.
we just record just one thing you can put into every
Okay, fair
video
enough.
that just says, thank
Oh,
you for
yeah,
watching.
like
You can
at the
find us
end.
on
At the
on
end.
these socials, and please join our Discord. Something, right?
Thank you
Like,
for watching the Shrimp Back Podcast. You can find us at O Abnormal.
yeah,
Sabrina
we don't record
Brady,
it every
and
time.
Mao Draws.
There you go.
It's just
There,
what we
I have
punch
it.
in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.